What is up, beautiful people, and welcome to another throwback weekend, where this weekend we are going to be looking at the evolution of Shinee MVs. And like last time, I really enjoyed you guys being there, so be creative, talk to me in the chat, talk to each other in the chat, and tell me, do you also notice a difference in the way the first MV is to the next MV, to the next MV, to the next MV, and maybe you also notice how Shinee progresses with their MVs. But the goal of this also is just to make sure that you guys can also talk to each other. So like I say, make sure to use that chat, talk to each other, tell me what you think, and I would just say, let's get into today's video, which is basically the evolution of Shinee MVs, and we're gonna analyze them, we're gonna have fun with them, we're gonna enjoy ourselves, but let's get right into the video. From this moment on, I will not edit the video anymore. We're just going to be looking at the videos and see what we can pick up. We're really going to watch everything from start to finish and see how they all progress. And at the same time, it's a little bit of like an honorable time, you know, to just go back and check out Shinee for the first time after a long time. But I would just say, let's go back to 2009 with their very first debut, Riff Replay. Actually, this is a very strong start. I mean, we have to remember, this is from 2009, but there's actually a very strong storytelling already in the MV. Like, this MV could hold up for today's standards, if they remaster it maybe. I mean, you can also just say that they're trying to really just find that balance between choreography and the storytelling. And so far, I will say that from what I remember, and I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but the MV really found its balance really well. Look at them all smiling though, you know? It's so crazy though, especially after checking out Minho, you know, Anu, sorry, not Minho, in this last song with Dice. It's just crazy to see how they grew up. We have to remember that this was literally 11 years ago. They have really just changed over all this time. It's fantastic. It's like they never grew up to a certain point, but it's something beautiful as well. It's something we should admire. There we go, Taemin. Yeah! How old was Taemin actually during this video? I mean, if this was 2009, let me just do the math. He must have been under 18 for sure, because he is literally my age. So let's actually have a little bit of a look. 11 years ago, I'm 28 now. 28 minus 11. 17, no? Yeah, he was 17 at this time. So, you know, I always think it's funny, you know, to see him like all kinky and everything, you know, going after the women. But we still have to think he's actually a minor in this video. So it's a little bit of a weird scenario if you think about it in that sense, but it's still very innocent. I wonder how she was in the video. Was she older? Most likely. Also very nice here, the way that there's this sign here and it says one way, and then Taemin takes a riff. Like, there's only one way in life, and that is with my hand and going into one direction. I am happy though that they fenced this off, because man, this background just looks very, very eerie. You know, it looks like where you get molested at night. Like, you don't want to go there. So I'm happy that he actually took her away from there. Like, nope, ain't going there. I love the 80s vibe that we're anyway getting from this video. I really enjoy it. And you can also see that they really got inspired by a lot of Western type of videos, where they find this nice balance between the choreography and the storytelling of the MV, and also the style of what we see, you know, with basketball. Again, something very American. Then you also have, for example, these graffiti artists and everything. I'm not sure if this was like that in Korea. I cannot say it. If you're Korean and you know how it was in 2008, maybe it took a little while for Korea to be like this. Like maybe Korea was like this. I cannot say. But if it wasn't, then we know that this was very westernized. But this is the vibe that I'm getting. I'm watching a 2000s clip, you know, a video from 2000 from America. That's the vibe that I'm getting, but with a Korean group inside of it. What an advanced video though, like literally it holds so strong. You know, it's just great. If I had to watch this video and I didn't know when it was from, I would have easily guessed that this video was from 2015. I mean, I looked at some older videos from K-pop and I don't remember them being as good as this. And that is a positive thing to say, of course. You know, it's positive when a video is able to move with time so good, you know, when it's basically becomes timeless. And this video is timeless. It's fantastic. What a strong intro. Ah, that romance. I completely forgot this in this video. Like, what is happening? Like, the girl that everyone fell in love with, and all of a sudden, they're all there. I don't know what this is supposed to mean. Maybe she has to choose one. I don't remember what happens at the end, though. Maybe she does choose someone. Replay, replay, replay. And also the balance between all the shots that you have here is just grand. You know, you got those nice beauty shots of every member. You have those great wide shots of the group. You have them doing their dance choreography, their solo dance choreography parts, where it's a little bit more zoomed in, for example. Then you have the story. There's so many dynamic shots here where I'm like, man, this really just shows that at the end of the day, it's all about creativity. It's never about technology. You know, the technologies assist you to make the videos better in the sense of make it easier to do everything. But back then, it was just so creative with the shots that they came from, the shots that they created. And it's beautiful to look at. Replay, replay, yeah. Oh, who does she choose? Oh, look at 1 sec. Let's go back to her again. Taemin is getting a little close to her. She's getting a little bit of a vibe, you know, like, ooh, hello there, honey bunny. So innocent though, you know? Like if you had to compare this to BTS from 2009, BTS was more or less like that badass group, you know? While Shinee is more like the angel of groups. Holy crap, was that a thrust? I don't even remember that. 1 sec, guys. Oh my god, did Taemin just thrust into the camera with his hips so heavily? Like... I mean, this is never going to age for me. I mean, every time I'm going to watch this video, this is going to be the moment that makes me laugh. But this must be so awkward. I mean, just look at their faces. I mean, whatever. Should I screen? I don't know. Should I screen capture this and then you guys can do what you want with it? But this is just funny. 1 sec. I need to watch it one more time. Great. That's how it should be. And I'm sorry I need to mention it again, but can you just imagine that the director is just screaming, okay, guys, I want you to thrust your hips into the camera, and especially you, Taemin. We're not going to see your face. All we're going to see is that genitalia area, and I want you to thrust with all that power into the camera. I mean, it must be fantastic to be a director at times, you know, to get these shots. What a beautiful MV. Like, this is just timeless for me. Like, you have to imagine it in the sense of, this is an MV that is very hard to top because it is that good. this is an MV that up to today's standards, a lot of people cannot find that right balance. And when it comes to you or making MVs, you really want to find that balance in trying to make it understandable. The storytelling has to make sense. The choreography has to be easy to understand. And you have to understand that it's also a fun element for the people that you see on screen. If they don't look like they're having fun, then this is just terrible. You know, then it's not an MV, it's just a forced project. But here you could really see that the Shinee members did their best to make sure that their debut song is just top notch. And like I said, it's timeless. It will last for years. And I'm not going to pretend I know all the other videos, because I do know them. But if I didn't, I would say, man, this video could easily be from 2016, 2017. Of course, with the format, it's a little bit different. But let's just see and go to the next video. So this was from 2009, even though it got uploaded in 2011. Let's go to Lucifer next, because this is the next song that came basically a year later. And this came from 2010. I'm really curious about Lucifer as well, of course, because, hey, I really like the song, actually. Let's actually see how they top their last MV. So, in other words, replay with this song, if they did at all, and see if we can pick up any type of characteristics that they picked up from that last video and took it with to this MV. That is what we want to see. We want to see some sort of revolution. So, really, replay is our touch point. This is the origin of the Shinee MVs. Let's see how it grew from there. Oh, already a completely different vibe. You're going to see that here is the introduction of special effects. You did not have that in replay. The one element that they also have that I'm slowly picking up, but I also remember it from watching many of their MVs, is they will always have these kind of close-up shots like this, these intense moments between the singer in this case and the viewer. And again, those wide shots, they took them with. You can also see that there is much more elements moving rather than people moving. They have more special effects and also, for example, shadows moving with the ventilator there. Fantastic. Man, I wish they could remake this video again. You also have some sound effects now with the head movement. Do you hear it? Let's play it again. Maybe you can pick it up. That was a little bit too early. Like this, the whip, you know, I would like to call it like a bow, a whip, like a... Very nice. Like a ninja. Cool. Man, Key really had some crazy looks back then. This is a great shot as well that is new actually compared to the last video. Again, it's about dynamics. We have this ventilator with a massive light, a massive spotlight behind it. It turns around, just creates some great dramatic scenes. And I like it. This is something new, but it's nice. But the one thing that I always kept, which I'm really happy about, is actually that they have all of these wide shots. You always know who's in the shot. You always know who's the team, who Shinee is. You see their faces. You want to make sure that you remember their faces. One sec, was that actually a glitch effect? Let me have a look. Let's go back there again, because that's also very new. Yeah, okay, that was a bit of a glitch effect. If we look at it, the part here, you can see basically it jumps between here and here. It's a bit of a little bit of a special effect they added in post. But you can see that's the revolution. 2009, they didn't have any. They just went with the material they had. They did maybe some color grading, while here they really added some special effects to it. But very minimal. Even like this is nothing more than a filter. Oh, I love this though. That is such a beautiful practical effect. Da, 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 da. By the way, should I learn one of these choreographies once? I would love to just try it. I have the space. I really do want to learn one. But what song should I choose? I will upload it, of course. Maybe a little bit of training. Maybe I'm just going to do a video where I just train it within an hour and then I try to master it. I've seen some people on YouTube do it and it looks actually fun, you know, because the choreographies look difficult, but they aren't that. You just need to stay committed to it for a little bit of time and master it over time. What's really interesting about these effects here, and you can see that with early 2000, 10, that early era, is that these effects, like I say, are just filters. In theory, you would want this effect to go around the members, you know, but that technology, if I'm not mistaken, I bet it did exist, but it would have been very expensive. But you can just see that it's a filter on top of the video that looks as if it's going around Taman, but it isn't. It's literally in front of him. Or here, for example, as well, it should go around him, but look at it, it just goes in front of him. I remember as well in the last video that I mentioned when we were looking at replay. Remember when I said BTS had more or less this bad boy era? And I think this could also be maybe the start of the bad boy era in K-pop, because I'm not sure when BTS did it. I'm not like an expert. We didn't look at them yet, but we should be looking at them as well in the future to see how they grew over time. But I can imagine that a lot of groups are following this trend. You know, a lot of skin had to be there, a lot of, you know, manliness, a lot of, oh yeah, look how cool I am kind of attitude. And they're just following the trend. And I like the video. Again, they still carry with all those beauty shots, all those intense moments between all the members. They want to make sure that we remember the faces. I don't know, I'm getting happy feelings in my stomach from watching this. I don't know, guys. Are you getting the same? Are you not getting the same? The one thing I remember as well when I was watching this, I love the cars in the background. It really just resembles that time on what was the highlight of back then. You know, you had the Z4, you had the Porsche, I don't know which it is, the Boxster, I think, and the Nissan 350, if not mistaken. Great cars, and I love the color palette. They really went with this metallic look, and they consistently put this look over the entire video, and it's beautiful. It's a very unique artistic choice, especially if you compare it to the last video. It's a little bit different, but one thing that they really just took with are those elements of how the video was shot. See a little bit of new technology being thrown in here. I love that. I really love the scene. I will never forget it. You know, how people did their expressions to say, like, let's introduce ourselves once more to the viewers. There we have one person, second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person. Shinee. And sorry, guys, I sometimes want to say their names, but, you know, I have to think about it again, who they actually are. I mean, I know who they are by now, but it just becomes like... It seems very unnatural to me, you know, to say their names like on spot, like John, Harry, Bob, Dylan, I don't know. But those names, like Korean names, there's always like a little bit of a... I need to be a little bit hesitant when I have to say, I don't feel confident saying them so quick. I don't want to pronounce them wrong. Yeah, this is the Boxster. Yeah. Really nice shots. Oh, that transition, it's literally spot on. Just look at this. Bang! Nice. That's how it should be, you know, it should be very clean. Can I go back for a second? I want to mention something, even though we're not looking at Minho's throwback week, you know, but where's this shot? This ventilator is something they actually took with in, that you also see in Minho with Heartbreak. I think it's called Heartbreak, Breakheart, one of that sound that he brought out. I love this element. It's just fantastic. The way it creates a pattern of shadows is spot on, and even though it's new, I love it. I really think this element is just revolutionary. It sounds silly, but for a videographer, it's beautiful to look at. Lovaholic, Lovatronic. Awesome. I mean, you can clearly see that with this video, they tried to add in a few special effects. They really tried to make it a little bit special, you know, make it a little bit more unique, play a little bit more with the editing, play a little bit more with the post. I don't remember how it was back then with editing. I know that there was a bit of software going on how to edit videos, but they weren't really immense, you know, they weren't like today. Like if we're talking about Premiere is a editing software. If I remember using it back in 2011 or 12 when I first started editing and tried to learn a little bit about editing. This was also the moment where I realized what you can do is really minimal. Add some text, a few cuts, a little bit of this, add a filter to it. It was really limited. If you wanted something special, you really had to go to an expert and they would have special software again and it would get really expensive. Today's standards, it's so easy to edit anything as crazy as you want on any software that you have. I mean, the software is the most expensive, but you're not limited in more as compared to back then. Back then, you needed specialists to do certain elements, but now you don't need it anymore. Anyone could edit anyone could edit any type of video, which is top notch in my opinion. But man, I really enjoyed it. I love the integration of special effects. I think this is a strong start, and you can actually see it. Special effects are slowly coming. Editing is slowly coming. It's basically they took the first video, they put more or less the same video team behind it, and they made the second video, aka Lucifer, and they added a little bit more of a layer to it. You know, a little bit more of a layer of special effects, simple cutting, special, you know, ripple effects, glitching effects, you know, a little of cuts and everything, and it looks good. It looks clean, and it's just amazing to see what they did here. Alrighty, so we just saw 2009, we saw 2010, and right now we're gonna go to 2012. So aka 2 years later with Shinee and Sherlock. I remember also this MV. I don't remember it from the start, but we're not looking at it to analyze what is good or bad about it. We're more looking at the special effects behind it and see how did they grow again from all the way from replay to this MV. What elements did they take with? Did they remove something? Is there something I didn't like? Is there something I did like that I wish they removed? But so far, it's a very clean progress. You know, it's easy to understand. They started with simple shots, then they added some special effects. Now let's see what they do the same with Sherlock. Are they going to improve it with more special effects or not? We will find out right now. I mean, you can already see like these kind of text effects back then in 2009 would have been a little bit more difficult to pull off, but look, they put it here. It's nice. It's something new, something small, but it is an improvement again from the last video, and also it's super sharp. And if not mistaken, we're actually right now in 720, so HD territory. Nice. You can see here right now, I think this is a studio, by the way. You can clearly just see that it looks fantastic. You know, like you never had a studio like this in any of the other sets before. They are just beautiful. It looks as if they're in a church, in a cathedral of some sort. It's really beautiful. I don't even know if this is a real life location, but most likely not because of the structure architecture that I can see. It looks like a studio, but I love that they also have some natural lighting here. If we compare this to Lucifer, you can see with Lucifer, it's 100% filmed in a studio. While here, you're starting to be a little bit skeptical on whether it is in a studio or not. I'm still skeptical. Maybe there's a behind the scenes to this MV. I think we watched it, but I couldn't pick it up if this was a studio or not. Maybe I did. I need to check that out, of course. Again, we're following the same element of the first MV with replay. A little bit of story, a little bit of choreography. Oh, we even have ads. Man, those good old days, you know, when you didn't even have ads on YouTube, so they just throw ads on the video. Man, what a time to live in. If not mistaken, that is 100% a studio. You can more or less see that the lights that they have here, this is not a natural sunlight. You can see that there's a light here, there's a light here, and it causes these weird, I want to say the word weird, but it isn't. It's just that it's a little bit unnatural. You know, the sun will never be this big in the background. It will more or less be like a dot here or a dot here. And it's a little bit too much. Like now I know that this is 100% filmed in the studio, but still, it looks so good. No special effects yet in the MV. Man, that's also really nice. Look at this this element here. You know, again, this most likely is a studio, but look at the smoke coming out of the sewer pipe here, the artificial sewer pipe, of course. It's just to make the world look a little bit more alive. This is a new element again. You know, for a studio to look this alive, it's fantastic. It's progression. I remember when we were looking at the Shinee when they were introduced to kids, and then Taemin was doing this dance movement to the kid, like showing how simple it actually was. Man, again, tell me guys, what MV should I practice? At least what main part of the choreography? Don't make it too complicated. Like maybe it could be this. I don't know. Okay, actually it looks more complex than what it is. What is also very new actually to this MV is that a lot of the shots are taken in this room. It's just with a lot of different lighting conditions, and maybe this is also the start where they realize with different types of lighting. I don't know how with lighting it was back then with technology, like with dimming and different color tones and, you know, heat and everything. But you can see that a lot of the shots are actually from here. For example, here, this location where it is, it looks like a completely different scene, you know, because they have a sculpture here and a sculpture there that they just included. But all that is basically this corner here. And without the statues, with different lighting conditions, and it's beautiful. It's really just effective how they turned this one studio, this one element into many different set locations. It's great. You see, it's just the stairs going up. Or here, you can see it even better, just with the lights a little bit dimmed down. And yet they still have those same shots, you know, where they're a little bit more intimate with, the viewer. You know, for example, here with Taemin, you have time with him, then you always have time with Mino, with Anyu. You get the story. It's something that they kept from replay, and it's a very nice element to have. Some K-pop videos don't have that. I wish they did do it like Shinee. There's something about how they do it with Shinee where it seems as if the Shinee members really own those elements, where they really feel as if they're singing for their viewers, which is just beautiful. You don't have that with all the groups, sadly. Sometimes you get these shots, but they're a little bit meaningless. But here I feel connection. Same type of cuts, same type of everything, you know. Like when it comes to the camera work, I don't know who the director was. Maybe it was the same director over all these 3 MVs, but it seems very similar. Like he has a really good idea how to move the shots with the music video. One thing that's also very new to this MV that we didn't have in the past is actually the color correction. You can see that there's a very nice tone here between warm colors and light colors, you know, to add a little bit more of a contrast to it. If you go back to Shinee, for example, everything is quite bluish. Even the yellows look a little bit blue. They have a bit of a blue through it because they're just putting a blue tone over it. Or for example, here, still a little bit bluish. Even in the orange, it's not really orange. It seems a little bit bluish, you know, because you can see it in the shadows. They're a little bit more blue. But if you look here, again, it's just a little bit more brown. It's more either the shots were brown or they were blue, or they were warm or they were cold. But now that we're looking at Shinee, it's in very nice color balance. Technology is changing, but it's a very nice progression. Let's actually have a look at Replay here. Replay has more or less the same vibe to it. Like you can see that they just went with a warm color to it, aka everything you see on set here just looks warm. Here, for example, even the red looks warm, the skin tone looks warm, the background looks warm. Let's go a little bit further. The background looks warm. Again, it's just one filter. The complexity is focused on one element, while with Sherlock, everything is focused more on the natural look and feel to the MV. Beautiful progression. Again, it's all technology. It's all becoming simpler. It's nice. That girl is pretty though, not gonna lie, she's pretty. And we have to remember, Taemin is actually on age now, so he might actually hit on that girl, you know, he's allowed to. Like, that is actually a special effect, but very clean. I wonder how they did it back then, but most likely what they did here, you can see that there's enough space here. So what they did is they just masked her away and added a little bit of an effect to it. It's a very simple effect, nothing too crazy, but it's a very clean. They actually cleaned up from their last MV. Those special effects weren't that good. In all honesty, I'm not really sure if they added anything to Lucifer, but here they do add something to the storytelling. You know, a ghost is a bit transparent and all of a sudden she disappears. The effects have improved. And a little bit of a wavy effect to it as well. The choreography is also kind of cool now, you know, all these ripple effects. Like, this song is like the king of ripples. It really just goes always into each other. It always refolds back into each other. Very nice. You can also just see with Shinee how relaxed they look with their footwork. I mean, I'm not sure how complicated it is to do this, but at the end of the day, look how relaxed their feet are. It's also very nice that they kept this in frame, you know, because it is the footwork. They should keep it in frame. Here again, we're going more to a mono, you know, to get a bit of a different vibe. The color grade is a little bit, how do I say it? It's a little bit toned down, but it's nice. It just adds a little bit more to the story. They're a little bit more playful with the editing, which is nice. One sec. I don't remember that at all. That is so cool. Look at the awesome. Awesome choreography. Nice. And then we have another section here, but most of it is all filmed literally in... Okay, this is another section that is new that I don't know where they filmed this, but you can see that they basically have 3 sets, and most of it is actually just filmed in here, and I love it. I love how efficient they have filmed this. Fantastic. Let's actually go back again to the end. They didn't finish, did they? Who is she? That poor dog in the background, though. Completely being ignored. That poor dog. Stop. Alrighty, so what do I actually think of this MV? Well, to make it very simple, I think it's a great MV. You can slowly see the progression on the MVs just becoming more and more modern. So literally within a time span of 3 years, Shinee did a fantastic job. They're really just pushing through, and they are actually, getting to the point where they're feeling more and more confident with the editing, with what direction they want to go to, how they can build a good connection up with the fan base. And that's all because of how they're filming it. The film, the way it was filmed at least, the film work, it's spot on. It was already spot on in 2009. The only thing back then is that they were just a little bit most likely limited to the way it was edited. And here you can actually see that they're feeling comfortable with making sure that their edits are also top notch. Do you guys also see the progression, or am I the only one? Please put it in the chat. I want to know your recommendations as well on what you think, or not your recommendations actually. I'm so used to saying the word recommendations, but your thoughts. I want to know what you think about on this entire segment, because we're only 3 videos in. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4 videos to go, and we're just going to have a little bit of a look into how it progresses. Alrighty, I would say let's continue. And oh my god, actually 2012 with 43.5 million views. Beautiful. So the next video, which I also looked at, of course, on the channel, if you haven't looked at it yet, make sure to just search it in the search bar and you will find it as well. It's going to be Shinee with Married to the Music. This video itself was a little bit of a headache, if I can say so. It was really hard for me to edit it because there's so much going on where it might have confused the people, but we're just going to figure it out while watching the MV right now as well, compared to the last ones. Again, those beauty shots, they know they're important. Oh, look at that color grade. A little bit more complex camera movements. For example, here, you're zoomed in and then it zooms out. Very nice. Also, the color grade is much better, of course, than last year. I mean, we're now in 2015, by the way. So now we are 6 years later after Replay. We're 3 years later than Sherlock. What do you guys think? Do you guys already notice the difference? Does it already look a little bit modern? Most likely. For me, it looks really good. Again, practical effects, really nice. Shinee was always doing practical effects if they could do it. This is one of those elements where they actually have some special effects on the people. They always had a little bit of special effects, but they're just getting better and better at it. I will be honest though and say it isn't the cleanest job, because some of the blue is actually getting over his skin. Like, it should theoretically only be on Tamer, but you can also see it here. It's not the cleanest, but it's actually fine. You can also see, again, with the cuts, it's just getting a little bit better to mix the choreography and the storytelling together. Well, between the members and the singing and the storytelling, they want to mix that nicely together. For example, this shot. Not this one, sorry. This one with Onyu, that basically we have Onyu here and the camera is spinning with him, and then all of a sudden the bottle as well spins to continue with the storytelling. Really nice. It's creative. Hold up, what was that bag? One sec, guys. I wanna quickly check that out. That's a really cool bag though. Not gonna lie, looks really nice. Very interesting special effects. They're working much more with green screen here. You can see, because you see that. Is that Key? I think that's Key, no? I think that's Key. Key's head here turning around into spinning. That's all done in a green screen room. You never saw that before, but now it's there. It's nice. Again, it's the development of the video industry. It's beautiful. It's also the first video where we actually see a smaller amount of choreography. It's more about the craziness of the MV. What a crazy MV. Like, there's so much happening. Like, you have to keep your eyes open non-stop. If anything, this is one of the more complex videos that I remember right now from Shinee. It's like you have to pay attention non-stop throughout the video to make sure you pick up all the references and understand the storytelling. And it's also the first video where they try to incorporate the entire song and the location and the story all within the one MV. In other words, that the choreography is or could be based within the same location, and it all makes sense. They're trying to package everything in one box. Nice. Again, I love those practical effects. It's just awesome. I mean, we know that there's just a hand sticking out here. Someone is underneath here holding someone's fake nose, but it looks cool, no? And also, I do like the fact, though, that they make the blood not red. They actually make it orange, or they make it yellow, as we saw with the head decapitated. It's nice. They're very playful, you know, with the special effects. And they also know, and they're aware of their audience. Really, really important. I'm not sure if they were that aware as well back in the past, but they were aware, especially in this MV, because they have to. It's quite a bloody MV if you just ignore it. This MV, by the way, just reminds me a lot of Scary Movie. I don't know which one. I didn't watch Scary Movie for a long time, but that's the first thing that it comes to my mind. They're trying to make it as crazy as possible, that things are happening, you know, a little bit of a Scary Movie vibe, a little bit of a Scooby-Doo vibe, where things are just happening, where no one can explain why it's happening, but it is happening. Awesome. You can really just see the special effects being more and more crazy. It's so cool. You see, the choreography fits very nice to the party here. Really nice. Ah, shit. Stole his lips. Now that people also explain to me why or who that woman is, it's quite creepy. She basically stole all the best elements from all the different artists. It's creepy. Like, imagine that this could be a really good concept for a horror movie. Really cool. Yeah. No. Yep. Huh. I thought this was also one of the craziest effects ever. You literally see Minho's face, you know, covered around the fire. I don't know how they pulled this off, this special effect, but it's mental. Like, this is really crazy. Let me see if you can pick it up. Like, literally, you can see his eyeball there. You can see his ear there. It's nuts. I have no idea how they pulled this off, but this is, if anything, you can see that now with 2015, we are literally 6 years after replay. They're really just cranking it up next to make it more entertaining for the viewers. It's fantastic. Yeah, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy how they're trying to incorporate everything without any crazy changes. What I'm trying to say with that is, like, imagine that there are a lot of MVs out there where they try to split the choreography from the storytelling. Here, they don't want that split. They want everything to fit together. And the choreography fits fantastically with the house, with the party, with the entire environment. It's great that they incorporated all of this together. You don't see Key smiling that often actually in an MV, so we might as well enjoy this element where Key is really trying to own it. Look at him. You can see him smiling here. He really enjoyed this moment, most likely. Nice. Like, this is a really sick MV, actually, if you think about it. What a video. Like, it's just crazy. Ah, to summarize it quickly, we don't have to talk about it too much. You can just see that whoever is editing in this video is getting more and more confident with how everything is being edited, how everything is going to come together. They know that Shinee is slowly becoming one of those groups where you can trust them on the project. It's fun to be with them. You can have fun with them while filming them, recording them, have a good time with them. And that is the beauty of it. You can see in this MV that they're getting more and more confident with making music videos, like to this standard. Like, this is a super high production. If anything, so far one of the most complex videos that I'm aware of, especially from all the videos we saw now. And it's actually really beautiful. And also the story is just crazy. And also how they filmed it, all the special effects. Like I say, it's all about them being confident. And not only Shinee, also the people who are editing it, cutting it, because you need to give Shinee a unique feel when you're watching their videos. And yet they kept most of their elements still really good. The one element that they still hold strong to is really making sure that those intimate moments, those solo shots of each individual member are visible. Really, really important. They want to make sure that those members are recognized by their faces and not only their voices, which I just want to say it's a fantastic choice, because you want to promote them. Shinee is a brand. You want to promote their faces so that when you see them, you're like, oh yeah, that's Shinee. We want to know who they are. That's how it should be. And man, this is a difficult one to watch. I always think that this video is really, really a head full, to summarize it quickly, but I really enjoy it at the same time. Like, can you imagine? Like, can you see the transformation after 6 years? If so, tell me what you think about this MV, especially compared to Replay. What do you think is the biggest change here? Or maybe even to, I don't know, to Lucifer or to Sherlock? What do you pick up the most? In my opinion, like I said, it's literally that they're just getting more and more confident, and that Shinee has finally found their uniqueness when it comes to making music videos. Like, this video is nuts. That's all I can say. And I like that. I like nutty videos. So we're now going to the next video, which is Good Evening by Shinee. Now, this is 2018, so now we're 2 years later again, especially compared to Married to the Music. For the people who just joined in, we're not looking at all the videos, we're actually just looking at some MVs in a chronological order, so we can actually pick up like how did Shinee develop when it comes to making MVs. We're going to pick that up today, and we're going to see how they are growing. And today, or right now, we are also going to be looking at Good Evening. I'm curious, I don't remember this MV at all, so which is really good. I'm curious how they improved it, of course, to Married to the Music. Maybe Married to the Music is literally their best MV. I don't really know, but I would just say let's press play and continue. The one thing that I can pick up already here is that they are really enjoying that contrast between the warm colors and the cold colors. This is something that they already learned from Sherlock, and they're bringing over to this MV again, and I like that. I really think that's important. Color grading is just the heart, not the full heart, but it's a very important part of the heart when it comes to making a good MV look good. Here, the one thing that is new, for example, is you have many more shots. One sec. You have shots with a little bit more depth to it. You didn't really have shots with depth to it before, and it's nice to see. It just makes the video a little bit more personal, a little bit more, it gives a little bit more character to it. So this is quite new. So this only came in 2018. It might have come early as well in a video that we're not looking at today, but that is one thing that I see right now that is a big difference from all the other videos that we saw previously. Here they're going a little bit more back to their roots, where it's more important to show who they are as a team. Did I actually check this video out? I'm really curious. I don't remember this at all. Oh, you can even see here, for example, that the cameraman is touching one of the flowers here. Just check it out. Like one of the flowers gets hit. Here. Nice. This video is all about dimension. It's all about just getting unique angles, playing with space, time, and what is reality, what is not reality. But you can see that they found their comfort zone right now. They found their strong point, which is being intimate with each other, but also being very unique for the viewers. You know, like trying to be very calm with their voices and with their tones of music. I love this setup, by the way, of all the cameras. I don't know if like I said, I don't know if I reviewed this video and gave my analysis on it, but I love the camera setup. So unique. We're getting some CGI. Oh, that's a beautiful shot in the water. I don't know how they filmed this, most likely in a massive pool, but it looks great. I can feel we're looking at each other through the storm. Let's see, your eyes know. That is so cool. Man, that's awesome. You can see literally that the paint that they're using here is like a green paint. That must feel so disgusting, by the way. Even if you have plastic on you, the wet paint just feels really, really... I know it. It's just not fun. Are they actually okay here with breathing underneath the plastic? I don't know, but I love it. I love how personal this video is. It's nothing compared to Married to the Music, but it has its own unique vibe to it. Like I say, it's playing with time and space, and it could take place anywhere. If you're just curious how they did this effect with the paint here, and then all of a sudden you have these sparkling fish going through it, it's just green paint. That's it. Just green paint being thrown over them, and then they just green screen it. I mean, you can see a very light green tint here, for example, very, very light, but it's that simple. It's simple, it's creative. I like it. It's all practical. I love it. They went a little bit more back to the roots here, you know, which is nice. I don't know why, but I really just cherish it every time I see Key smile. Like, you don't see Key smile too often, you know, so you might as well just enjoy it. I love it. I love the mix between studio and real locations. That's really nice. Nice MV. I am 100% sure I never saw this MV before, so that's really refreshing to me. The one thing that I really enjoy about it is that you can see that they're picking up a lot of elements that we saw in Lucifer. They are having a lot of intimate moments where they have all their studio locations. I bet that Lucifer would look very similar to this MV if they just had the budget and it was just a different time. purely because technology has changed. Everything is more efficient, everything is a little bit more complex, and you can just see they went a little bit more to the roots. You know, they want to show choreography, they want to show their cool moments, they want to show intense moments, they want to show moments where it looks completely crazy. And I think Lucifer would have fit really well into this theme as well, of everything looking a little bit more crazy. Maybe of course with a different color scheme and everything, but it seems they went a little bit back to the roots again to understand what are we, who are we good for. We like a choreography, we're there to show fun, we're trying to show energy, a good vibe, and they want to show that we are pristine in quality, and that is what they're really aiming for here, and it looks really fun. I can't complain. I mean, the fox here doesn't look too good, but that's okay. You know, CGI, like I say, either you do it good and it's really expensive, or you do it cheap and it looks cheap. Simple but true. I mean, guys, do you think that this could be a really good video where they could redo Lucifer in? Like, do you see more or less the similarities and the style of how they wanted to film it, you know, with the choreography, personal shots, group shots? And like I say, they're only able to do this purely because everything became more efficient. They're able to get the shots they need better and quicker and move along in that sense. Again, really cool. I like this. I really like looking at how it all progressed. Like, can you imagine? We're now 9 years later, and only 9 years later, we're only getting like Key maybe smiling. I mean, that took a little while. I mean, we started Married to the Music as well. So to make Key smile takes a couple of years to develop, but also just to develop some of these techniques, you know, what is the future? It's fantastic. The screen paint, beautiful. And, but from the elements, they really went back to the roots just with modern technology. I like that. I like when groups go back sometimes to show and display who they are, and then from there do a little bit of a newer, give it a little bit of a newer touch, which is fantastic. Alrighty guys, we're going to go to the next video, and for you guys who might know it and some people you might not know it, I don't know who you are, but if you do know it, today we're also going to be looking at Don't Call Me. This was 2021, this is literally 3 years later, and I want to look at this video as well because it's a video that actually showed a different side to Shinee, a complete different look and a different feel to how they make music videos. So let's have a look at them as well and see how this slowly progressed. Okay, you can see here already they're getting a little bit of you know, again, that Lucifer look to it, you know, that bad boy vibe, those warm colors, a little bit more skin, just with modern technology.
I promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. If you
don't call me, check this out, y'all.
I love the way how they filmed this. Just gonna say, if you haven't watched the behind the scenes of this video, go check it out. It's really fun to see how often and how long it took them to film this. It's just a great insider to Shinee as well. This video is very ballsy though already. This is the first moment. What I see from now already is that the camera is really active with the choreography. It's trying to be part of it. It's trying to be aggressive. The cameraman knows it wants to get into your face and show what Shinee is about. Ow! You can just see how the cameraman is trying to go into it. It's completely new. We have not seen this before. Before everything was more or less from a distance, but now everything is just awesome. It's very new. The camera is really crazy. Another thing that they don't have a lot throughout this MV is actually those close-ups of the members themselves, where they're actually calm and just doing their singing parts. It's all hyped up. They're all very active. Let's see if I can find a good example where I am talking about it. Maybe here, for example, here we have a good one. There's not too much going on. All we see is a face and someone singing. Okay, that's how we have to see it. But when we go to Don't Call Me, let's go to this shot with On You. Standing up, acting, moving, a lot of hecticnism going on in the shot. It's new, it's pumped up, it's hyper. See, it's very hyper, it's very new, it's very refreshed, it really moved with its time. Also, the complexity of the changing of lighting and everything that we see, I love it. We also saw this already with Sherlock. This is again here. The place itself reminds me as well of Sherlock. If you think about it, it's one location. It's easy to film there. Different lighting, different setups, but it's nice. Again, it's something they learned from the past to say like, hey, let's do something like Sherlock. We have one place where we can film a lot of different looks, a lot of different shots, and we can make a very unique MV about it. If you think about it, this shot, like 95% all takes place in the same roof, you know, the same hall with different lighting, different color grades, but it looks all unique from each other. And they learned that from Sherlock. Just again, with newer technology. Man, talking so much dries up my throat. Sick of all your trash. By the way, if my singing sucks, yeah, well, you gotta live with it, you know, like, I like singing. You know, I can't say I'm the best, but I enjoy it, you know, just get some breath out of my ear. There's just so much happening in this MV compared to any of the other videos. It's just new, it's unique. Awesome. Great shots. Like I say, it's just more modern. It's fantastic. They really got they just scaled up Sherlock basically and made it more modern, made it more unique, newer technologies, newer everything. Fantastic. Great. Okay, here, for example, we see with Anu, actually, he gets his a little bit of a moment that is calm. This is something we saw in the past, but he's, I think, if not the only one that gets it. Let's have a look still. You see, so much is happening. There's so many cuts. So it's awesome. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but so much is happening just. Playing with dimensions, beautiful.
Sorry, the number you have called has been disconnected.
One of the shames that I said as well in the past with this shot is that I wish it was just a little bit wider, because there's a lot of happening with their feet as well, but we just don't see it, and it would be nice to see that. It's just a tad too high. Awesome. It's fantastic. You know, it's fantastic. Again, how much further are we? We're literally 10 years, 12 years further from replay, and you can just see how they developed. They still look the same. They still have that same vibe. They just grew up much more, and they're just banging it. They're really just banging hard on the doors of people saying, we are back. We're not going to step down. We're going to own it. And I like that. And you can see a lot of small references that we saw in the past. For me, it's literally, if I think about it just now, it's literally Sherlock. It seems they took that same concept in the sense of how they want to film it, where they want to film it, you know, with the studio, and say, let's film it in one location, let's make it all efficient, and let's play a lot with the lighting. Let's play with the technology we have and be as efficient as possible to film this. And they knocked it out of the park. I was just blown away by how much is actually filmed in this one location. It's beautiful. beautiful. And it just shows, you know, that sometimes you just have to be creative with what you have rather than always trying to create something new. Guys, what do you think? Do you think Don't Call Me is their best MV yet or not? For me, I'm still lingering to Married to the Music because it's just a headful. It's just so much. But I really just still think that from Married to the Music, from Lucifer, from Sherlock, from Replay, they banged on, really just moved on with the future. They moved on with time and just to display who they are. And they never lost that Shinee vibe, you know, that feeling as if they really just want to show that they are there not only for the people that are being filmed or, you know, the people that are getting filmed. They're also there for the viewers, which is just nice. There is always this eye connection, this feeling as if, hey, we are there, we're not going to let you down, which is just fantastic. I really am so far just pleased to see this entire growth from Shinee. Like, imagine, you know, we're literally 11, 12 years further compared to before. Really cool. If you just came into the video, guys, we're just checking out all the MVs. Well, some of the MVs, you know, chronologically from Shinee to see how did they improve over the last years. And I really think it's fascinating. It's just so cool to see where they started and where they are now. And for now, we also have one more video that I want to check out. It's not going to be Atlantis. I'm skipping that one. And that is going to be Superstar, which is their last uploaded MV, aka also their last made MV. I want to check this out for sure because I want to see how did their last MV compare to their first MV. It's going to be a really cool reference. And I would just say, let's press play. Why do I keep saying press? It's press. Let's press play. There we go. It's a bit of a tongue twister in my head sometimes. Alrighty, let's go.
And it's cool, yeah.
I'll be honest, I know I looked at this MV, I don't remember it too much. I remember the themes of everyone is showing the hobbies a little bit and what they enjoy doing. Let's see how it still compares to the rest of the videos.
That's right.
Wait, can I have a look at that again? Did he do something with paint there? One sec. So here you can see more or less that he's using paint, but it's actually not a green screen effect or blue screen in this case because it's blue paint. It's actually an effect they threw onto the screen here. It reminds me of the video that we just saw with Good Morning. That same kind of effect, you know, with the paint. They used it again. Really nice. Really cool. So far, if I have to guess to where a lot of the inspiration came from, funny enough, it's actually Married to the Music. We're getting that same sort of vibe, or I'm getting that vibe, but a little bit toned down, where it's a little bit more easy to follow what's happening, because it's also like, hey, there's a lot of happening in this house, you know, they're trying to display it as if they're all living together in a community house, let's say. I like that as well, and it's just fascinating that you can pick up these connections to where they get these ideas again from. Like, it seems they have these ideas from the past and they just refresh them with modern technology. It's so beautiful. You know, this also just gives me a bit of a feel as if we're actually watching a bit of Replay, you know, just out of the world. Let's actually go back to Replay, to what I'm talking about. So when we're looking at, for example, let's actually go, which side is it? Is it this part? For example, this shot here just reminds me a lot of this type of, it's a different shot, don't get me wrong, but the same type of idea that's going on here. You know, a unique environment. And they performed the choreography there. Like, do you guys see this well? Do you think it's like a mix of replay and you know, the smiles and the happiness, and then some of the color schemes from Married to the Music thrown in a blender, add some newer technology to it, add a newer camera to it? Like, do you get a different vibe from it? For sure, it's not going to be anything near to Lucifer, nothing near to Sherlock, or even Don't Call Me. It really seems they went back to the roots completely with this song. Superstar. Can we just give him credit? When we see Key smile, we just need to, I think we should always take a shot, you know, when we see Key smile. It doesn't happen too often. On you, always. He always smiles. Yeah, I'm really getting those vibes from Replay. Being happy, maybe because they knew this was going to be their last MV that they're making. Could really be, you know? Superstar. Awesome. Awesome. It's also actually amazing how SM Entertainment kept their logo. It just shows how important their logo actually are, you know, when it comes to making MVs. I mean, let's have a look at actually SM Entertainment. Let's actually look at this one. That's a bit bigger, you know. It's the same, but just a little bit bigger. Man, it's fascinating. It's so fascinating to check out these MVs to see where they are and how they grew up over time. Like, you know, we're only looking at this video now, you know, me talking here for maybe like an hour, maybe 1 hour and a half, but you have to think about it. This, for all the Shinee members, is literally 11, 12 years that just passed in me speaking for an hour. That is crazy. And I feel as if I'm still watching the same people from the very first video with Replay. It just makes me completely like, wow. That's all I have to say. Just wow, wow, wow. It's a great feeling. I feel really happy about it. I feel superb about it. I don't know. What do you actually feel about it? Are you happy with the entire, you know, watching the first video all the way to the last? Like, do you think it's great as well? Do you think it's really weird how they grow over time? Do you think it's fantastic? Leave it in the chat. I want to hear your comments as well, because to me, it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating to see the origin and the end. And of course, this is most likely not the end, but it's what we have right now. And just to see how happy everyone is just great. And like I say, this video with Superstar, it just reminds me a lot, like in my opinion again, you know, it just reminds me a lot of Replay of saying, you know, we're not debuting, we're actually just saying more or less for now, goodbye. So it's more or less that same feeling as if we have to show our fans that we are there for them. And it's a very nice feeling. And that actually also counts for Atlantis. From what I remember is that Atlantis is also one of those songs that everyone is really, really happy to be in that song. So it's fantastic. I am really just happy to look at these videos with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed as well. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this amazing weekly, well, I just want to call, you know, throwback week, you know, with Shinee. These videos have been chosen by me, but also by some of the people that are on my Discord. If you don't know it, join the Discord. I'll throw the link in the chat as well. And of course, if you don't know yet about it either, come join the Patreon. The program is there for you guys to join. It starts from €1 on a monthly basis, and you can choose your own tier, which is really, really cool. And I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I really just want to show to you guys that it's always important to look at where a group started and where they are now. Are they getting better? Are they getting worse? You know, with Shinee, they really have a little bit of a bit of a roller coaster. It didn't, for me, seem as if everything was super, 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 super. It really seems as if it went up, and then maybe because of production, it went down again. I mean, I know with Superstar, the budget is a little bit different because it's for the Japanese audience. It went down a bit when it comes to the craziness, but it's still amazing to see those origins, you know, those small little elements that you also see on Replay. That's what I mean. Like, the video from Replay still holds strong today. If you put them side to side, just imagine they're both the same ages, aka Taemin being, I don't know how old he is now, 28, and now he's 28 still in Superstar. Put them side to side. You will see more or less those similarities that they're still there. They're mature, they feel more confident, and it's nice. That is what I want to see. But yeah, guys, now it's, of course, it's up to you to talk in the chat to see what did you like, what did you not like. Do you think there are more videos that I should have checked out? Maybe I should have included Atlantis, maybe not. But I just want to say thank you very much. And if you did enjoy, please make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribed, and I hope to see you on the next Throwback series. I want to do this over the period of summer, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy making these videos with you all. But for now, I just want to say thank you very much for being there. I'll leave the chat open for a couple of minutes more so we can just talk our way out, and I'll throw in all the links so that you can follow me on social media, on Discord, and of course on Patreon. Please do so. I would really be happy, and I'll see you on the next video. Guys, you were awesome. You make me happy. I make myself happy. That's how it should be. Everyone should spread happiness. I'll catch you then. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the next premiere.